Good morning, students. Today we are doing poetry Aunt Jennifer's Tiger. The first stanza Aunt Jennifer till certainly. The poet is talking about a lady whom she addressed as Aunt Jennifer. She is embroidering a piece of cloth. It could be a tablecloth or wall hanging. The pattern shows tiger who are moving and jumping all around over the fabric. They are bright yellow in color, like the color of the topaz stone. The dense green forest background is their home. They are the proud and the fearless citizen of the forest. Here is a contrast between Aunt Jennifer and her tiger. The tigers are fearless, but this lady who is embroidering them is not so. The tiger looks so elegant, shining, and full of the gentleness grace. The poet is describing a lady whom she addressed as Aunt Jennifer. She says that the Aunt Jennifer is doing embroidery on a piece of a cloth which could be a tablecloth or a wall hanging. She has designed it with beautiful tigers which are running fearlessly in this green forest. She has described the beauty by comparing them with the precious yellow stone known as topaz. She says that they appear bright yellow in the green backdrop of the forest. They are fearless and they are not affected by the presence of man. Here we can sense the contrast of behavior between the tigress and the ant. Though the tiger, designed by her, are fearless, but she herself is afraid of her husband. Further, the poet says that the tigress are proud and fearless citizens of the forest. They are very shiny and elegant. The rhyming scheme is ABAB. Here, metaphor is use of topaz to describe the yellow color of a tigress. Second stanza, Aunt Jennifer till hand. The lady fingers are trembling with the fear of her husband. She is pursuing her hobby in her free time, but probably she is still afraid of her husband who could scold her. Her fingers are so tired of working endlessly all her life. The needle is also heavy for her to pull out the cloth. The words Uncle Wedding Band, as the band was bought by her husband, it is his still today. The lady is dependent on her husband. She is still burdened by the weight of the ring. Weight means the encirclement of trapping that has fallen upon her by getting married to him. She has been burdened by the obligation of married life, has become the man's property. She has been living in a demanding life due to which she has worn out in her old age. Now explanation. Here, the poet describes the fears of Aunt Jennifer towards her husband. She says that while she is doing embroidery, her fingers are shaking with fear of her husband. Her husband doesn't approve of her hobby of embroidery. Therefore, she trembles while she is embroidering the piece of cloth. It has been difficult for her to pull her needle up and down. Then she describes the wedding ring which was given by uncle to Aunt Jennifer on the wedding day. She says that it is a kind of burden for her to wear this ring. She has been tortured by her husband so much that the wedding ring, which could have been a beautiful gift for her, seems like a burden. Excuse me. She has been tortured by her husband so much that the wedding ring, which could have been a beautiful gift for us, seems like a burden to her. She has faced so many difficulties in her married life that the little ring is described as a heavy band on her trembling finger. This means the ring is associated with some bad experience in the form of a torture she has faced because of her husband's dominating nature. Alliteration, as the F sound is being repeated in finger and fluttering. The third stanza, when Aunt till unafraid. Her wish to live a free, fearless life is indicated by her choice of a design tiger. It shows her innermost desire of being strong, fearless, which has been overpowered by her husband. Probably her order will end up upon a death. Her frightened, shaking fingers will put to rest, but still, even after death, the ring shall remain on her hand. Husband rule over her is not yet over. After her death, her desire of freedom and fearlessness shall remain alive in these tigers which she has embroidered. The poet says that one can easily sense Aunt's desire for freedom and fearlessness, though her design of tigers. Further, she says that it is not possible for Aunt to achieve this freedom during her lifetime. She will attain it only after her death. But here also the irony of her life is that still she will be tied up with sackless in the form of her husband's wedding ring. The ring was the sole proof of the torture which she had faced from her husband. On the other hand, there are the tigress designed by Aunt Jennifer, which will always depict a desire of living a fearless life by jumping proudly and bravely on the piece of her coat. Alliteration as the P is praising prude. Thank you, students.